legend in Pokemon Go Battle League. But today, I'm not allowed to choose my team. These are 5 booster bundles from 5 different sets. Journey Together, Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals, Ascended Heroes, as well as the very new Perfect Order. 1 bundle, 1 team, 25 battles. The team is completely selected by Pokemon cards. Basically, it's like FIFA's Ultimate Team, just Pokemon and a lot more expensive. I'm starting from right at the bottom, rank 1, and let's see how far we can actually climb. Prismatic, Journey Together, Destined Rivals, and Perfect Order. 6 packs of Prismatic Evolutions. Fire Energy and Applin. Can't really. Bronzong! We can actually use this. Bronzong, I'm gonna say this is usable. Awesome. Oh. Larry Skill! And here I am secretly hoping for a God Pack! God Pack! I want a little God! Okay, second pack. Techno Radar. Wow. A lot of item cards. Set this aside. Another Cottony. I thought it was like a Master Ball Holo. Wow, my god, damn it! Umbreon, one of my favorite Pokemon to use in the Go Battle League. Did I have it in my team when I went for the championship? Third pack, and we have Dusknoir and Execute. Not bad so far. Come on. Hitran. 2 packs left. Really no hits, man. Prismatic is such a brutal set, isn't it? Black Belt Training. Dusclops. Dusclops very usable. And Silver EX. Wow, okay. Potentially the team I can run right now, Umbreon lead with Dusclops Safe Swap, as well as a Dusknoir closer. I could do that. That's a good team. Team of 3, you're ready to go.
And we're off. And frankly, you can't ask for a better lead. Umbreon versus Wigglytuff. In fact, not a single Pokemon in this team was an appropriate answer. Umbreon proved not enough for his victory bell and Quagsire. In the second game, we definitely fared better. Somehow, my Dusclops survived with a sliver of health and Umbreon came in clutch by taking out his Stunfisk. Game 3 was another game of 2 halves. However, with the game looking desperate, my Dusknoir took a Night Slash straight to the face. Managed to survive throwing a Dynamic Punch, taking the Grand out. Game 4 was a lucky game, and despite a neutral team, Umbreon came in clutch, taking out Alolan Marowak and Politoed in quick succession. Now, on to our last game. Well, this was a game of 2 halves. It started off with Azumarill versus Umbreon. I thought that I could initially counter that. He had another counter in Tinkaton. And despite my successful attempt of catching a Bulldoze with my 1 HP Dusclops, his team of double fairies eventually proved too high a mountain for my team to climb.
So close. So close. 6 packs of Journey Together. That's fast! We have a Pillow Swine, a Scavalier, and we have Sensation EX. Alolan Marowak. Very usable. We have a Regirock. Spice Pit. Is this Pelipper? Yes! A Pelipper! Yeah. Volcarona. Beautiful card, but... Yes! Nightmare Centering. Look at that. This is fun.
And our Journey Together team sees Pelipper as the lead, Dunsparce as our safe swap, and Alolan Marowak as the closer. And we are off to the races. We face off a Shadow Dusknoir, and we quickly throw a Weather Ball before swapping to a Dunsparce who casually dispatches Dusknoir. The opponent brings in the Cradily, and they exchange blows and shields before I finally swap in Alolan Marowak to burn down the Grass Rock Pokemon. However, he counters with a Blastoise, who unfortunately doesn't have enough shields for the Shadow Bones of my Alolan Marowak. And I counter with Dunsparce, and Alolan Marowak closes the game out. Game 2 sees us facing off an Azumarill which promptly takes a Hurricane to its face. Sensing danger, I swap in Dunsparce, catching an Ice Beam which would have been dangerous to Pelipper. Corviknight enters the fray but is quickly farmed down by Alolan Marowak who has built up a ton of energy. I shield up a Play Rough and we throw successive Shadow Bones at their Talonflake. Good fortune continued in Game 3 where I won the lead, save swap, and managed to maintain alignment all the way in an easy win. Game 4, however, saw us facing plenty of hard counters. The opponent led with Dugong and I had to promptly swap Dunsparce, and yet again he had a strong counter in Annihilate. This was proving difficult, but just when I thought the battle was lost, I caught his Annihilate's Rage Fist on my 1 HP Pelipper, allowing us to counter with Shadow Bones and then farming down Wigglytuff. As for the final game, we had a relatively neutral lead, but his Scrafty countered by Dunsparce. Pelipper picked up the slack by dispatching Azu and Scrafty quickly before his Grass Ghost Trevenant accepted its final fate. And with that, our journey together team ends with a victory record of 5 wins, 0 losses. Pretty sick, don't you think?
Now it's Destined Rival, getting out the packs from the box. Smells like fresh packs anyway. First pack, give me magic. That's not great, man. Huntail. Yes, Annihilate. This box is very bad. Zapdos. Okay, Zapdos.
And our Destined Rivals team, Zapdos, Scrafty, and Annihilate. Let the battle begin. And straight up, a fantastic lead. This was my favorite team of all, but the nerf to counter in the last year meant that this team could hardly play well. We didn't even find enough health to bring a decent fight to the opponents. And just like that, we lost our first game, with his Gallade quickly taking out my Zapdos as well as our Annihilate. And in the second game, even with a fantastic lead, we struggled. Our Zapdos faced Togekiss, he brought in Ferret, and I countered with Scrafty. But in each of the battles, we were merely surviving despite having the right counters. And when the Empoleon finally entered, we managed to finally win with Annihilate farming down Empoleon for the final victory. This was not looking good. 1-1. And in Game 3, the weakness of this team was undeniable. Simply not enough damage due to the counter nerf. We faced a Dusknoir, Forretress, and something else. That's right, we didn't even survive to see the third Pokemon, and I knew all hope was lost. I quickly top left, and I gave the opponents a very clear victory. Game 4 saw us with a decent lead, where our Zapdos faced off with Diggersby. However, with 2 counter users at the back, I made the executive decision of bringing out my Scrafty, knowing he would swap. He brought in a Corsola, which, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, isn't a counter to Scrafty. And after taking out his Feraligatr with my Zapdos, the opponent quickly top left, knowing that his win condition was lost. 2-2. And in our final game, Zapdos faced Skarmory. He brought in Altaria, and I decided to see if I had a soft counter with my Annihilate. Well, spoiler alert, definitely not. And despite Zapdos being the straight up counter to both Skarmory and Dugong, we simply did not have enough bulk to last the battle. Even with my Scrafty huffing and puffing, we were farmed down by Skarmory. That means Destined Rivals gave us 2 victories out of 5 games, which brings us to the cool total of 10 wins in 15 games.
Set 4, we are opening perfect order. 6 packs. Talon freaking Flame. Let's go. This is my first time opening perfect order. Seems cheap enough. Tyrantrum. Love this Pokemon. Not me. What? Got it. Hey, can grade it. Oh my lordy lord. Big grading time. My friends, this is a 10. I'm pretty sure of it. Snorlax, my friends. Oh, I put a Dugong. You know what that means? Diggersby, yes. This is a pretty good set, and yeah. Oh, we still have one more pack. Come on to me, meow. We have gotten our Pokemon. Now I want the pools instead. Meow, 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 meow. Talonflame lead. My guess is Diggersby as the closer and Dugong as the safe swap.
Here we go. Our first game sees us take on a Shadow Snorlax, and this was the game of 1 HP. Why? Well, you see. Talonflame started farming up energy before charging off. Snorlax shielded one before swapping in Quagsire. Somehow this opponent thought that shields come at a price. Quagsire was obliterated by a casual fly from Talonflame. I brought in Dewgong and farmed him down before the opponent brought in a Charizard. Snorlax came in, threw a superpower. Somehow, we survived with 1 HP. Shadow Charizard came back, facing off Diggersby, and despite us taking 2 straight up blast burns to the face, our little ground bunny survived with 1 HP before throwing an ironic fire punch at the Charizard and close off the game. And yet, we weren't so lucky in game 2. Opponent had a finish and not a single one in my team was a counter to that. He had an answer to each of my Pokemon and destroyed my team nonchalantly. And in the third game, we once again come up against a Frillish. And this time I was determined not to lose. We stayed in and fought Frillish before he brought in Wigglytuff. However, in a twist of fate, we had the strongest counter to his final Pokemon, an Alolan Marowak. That's right, Diggersby threw 3 Scorching Sands and sealed our victory. Game 4 was an easy one as we had hard countered the opponent right from the start and even had a spare shield when we finally took out Typhlosion with a drill run from Dewgong. And in game 5, if you thought my Destined Rivals team couldn't get any worse bulk-wise, well, you should see this team. Our opponent maybe thought this was a Master League and brought in Pokemon which did not have the bulk for a Great League battle. Even having 4 shields will not give this opponent a single win with this team. And with everything, we finally closed out and took the victory with a double Scorching Sands against Gardevoir. And with that, perfect order gives us 4 wins out of 5.
Set number 5. God pack. Not getting pack. I believe this will be the new Evolving Skies. First ever pack of Ascended Heroes. Here we go. Charmander! I already have a feeling this is going to be the worst one, okay? Raichu is a maybe. I have a Soul Rock here, which can be used. We have Makago, can be used. Reverse Hollow. Oh, we got Snorunt! Cool! We have 2 gradable cards today. Not too bad. Maybe. Obstagoon! Yes, this could be used. Finally, we have one that I can use. Victory Bell. I tell you what, Victory Bell, Soul Rock, and Makago. Use this as a closer, Soul Rock as a safe swap, Victory Bell as the lead.
The first game sees us seeing Victory Bell versus Stunfisk. We exchange shields and exchange charge moves, and with Victory Bell surviving and finally taking out Stunfisk with no shields on either side. Feraligatr comes in versus my Soul Rock. Somehow we managed to farm down with Victory Bell. Victory Bell even had time for a Leaf Blade against Clefairy, and nothing Flavel could use could counter our Magmortar, giving us the first victory. In the second game, Victory Bell faced off a negative lead in Sunny Day Cast Form. We brought in Soul Rock, and he countered with Azumarill. Cast Form came in against our Victory Bell, we shielded once, and then my game came to play. We farm up with Magmortar and he did not have an answer. By the time he came in, I was too highly powered. And we finally closed out the game with an overheat against Medicham. And our third game sees us facing off against a full electric team. Well, apparently not electric enough, as my team quickly dispatched theirs. Game 4, we face off with a very negative lead. Victory Bell versus Altaria. However, we had straight up counters to both his Altaria and Wigglytuff. In fact, it was a big surprise when I saw the last Pokemon, a Talonflame. Magmortar versus Talonflame, there's only one winner here, even with lesser shields. So that gives us our 4th game. Now 5th game, simply put, we countered Victory Bell, Greninja, Magmortar, Dual Blade as well as Melmetal. Straight up hard countered. That means Ascended Heroes gives us 5 games, 5 victories.
Here we go, rank 8. Pretty fun challenge. I enjoyed this a lot. It really was like FIFA Ultimate Team. I pull the card, I get to use the Pokemon. I should do this more often. And you know what? Next time I'm gonna have a wheel as well. How many boxes can I buy? Or do I pull one pack and I have to use the Pokemon that pack? Crazy, right? I have no idea what's the purpose of this video. It's just a little bit of fun. Next week's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to grade. And trust me, it's not about the cards. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you click like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Stay shiny.